Good morning, everyone. Yesterday, we have completed our class with PIX data model. So, let us quickly recall the most important topics with PIG. And first, we need to talk about PIG. It is like a programming language, and where you will be writing it using PIG Latin. And we have one interactive shell called Grunt. And next part is PIX data model. And in PIX data model, we have talked about PIG data types and what are the data types of it, and what are the other things that it supports. Like as one is a scalar, and second one is complex, which has three things like map and similarly bag. Okay, so this is about PIX data model. And in today's class, we will be talking about Hive. Okay, so let me give a brief introduction to Hive. What is Hive and why it is used, where it can be used, and what is its purpose. See, Hive is again an Apache ecosystem. I mean, Hive is again developed by Apache Hive, and which is an Hadoop ecosystem, which is a part of Hadoop ecosystem. Hive can be used with MapReduce Hadoop based technologies, and Hive is not a database. But Hive is just as like SQL. I mean, which will provide you SQL-like interface to interact with a database. For example, if you are using a complex database which is being connected to MapReduce or HDFS, or which we are using like MapReduce or Hadoop-based or some other complex data types. What I will be doing is I will be providing an interface. It is a medium like which will be acting as like a SQL interface, whereby that will be translating to your MapReduce database. This is the role of Hive. Okay, Hive is just as like will be acting as a interface whereby you will be posting your queries, whereby you will be executing your queries, and you can see that the queries will be get executed at the back. So irrespective of the database that you use, either it is related to of a type MapReduce or it is HDFS, it is DFS, it can be anything. So irrespective of the database type system that is being used, it can be like a relational database management system or a non-relational database management system. Irrespective of it, this will be helping you by acting as like a interface and in getting the queries, and it will be processing it, and then it will be getting responding to it. And since it is like acting as like an SQL, it has few limitations. Like if you take SQL, you can master the schema, you can do everything with the schema. But this Hive can perform only like schema on a read, but schema on write is not possible with this Hive. Okay. And second thing, so Hive is specifically suited for data warehouse applications, or we will be calling it as Hive is a data warehouse software project which is built on top of Hadoop for providing data operation. Let us see why it is called data warehouse application. See, using Hive, what we will be doing is, okay, okay. So Hive supports well in a static database. I mean, a static data warehouse. So whereby it can process your queries and it can get the response. So it is the place. Okay, so it is the place or area where Hive can be get used with, and that is why we call Hive as a data warehouse based query system. Okay, and which as I'm repeating it, like this is again interface to SQL, whereby you can make use of the things to interact with your database management system. Okay, and what I can do is I can help you to create, view, alter, drop, and you can also have indexing in a database table. But that internal level schema of that database will not be get handled, will not be written by using Hive. Okay, and second point is, and the next point is using Apache Hive, right? You can see it. The biggest limitation is that Hive does not provide level update, insert, nor delete. It will support you only to create, alter, drop, table, view. Right? The remaining part of this will not be get handled by Hive. Now let us talk in depth about Hive. So what are the data types and file formats are there in Hive? So Hive supports more the primitive data types that we use in relational databases like integer, character. Okay. So I supports integers and floating point types, Boolean types of any length, and you can see tiny int. It is the smallest integer which holds 1 byte, and small integer, and then integer, big integer. It is nothing but like double, Boolean, float, double. And this also supports one more thing called blob. This also supports blob, that is called binary fields. Blob we have discussed here yesterday. I mean binary large objects. And what is this timestamp? This is also we have discussed yesterday. What is the use of this timestamp? Timestamp is a unique identifier which is created by DBMS to identify the relative to identify the relative start time. Sorry, to identify the relative start time of a transaction, and this timestamp value can be a integer. I mean, for example, that will be given terms of seconds. Okay. For example, let me take this. We have one data is being created as of right now, and let me take the time as some 10 o'clock or 10:30. So that will be converted into seconds, and that seconds will be get updated in timestamp. And next, one more thing is Hive does not support any transactions. We have two things like one is OLTP and the other one is OLAP, Online Analytic Processing, Transactional Processing. Hive supports only analytic processing. Hive does not support any transaction processing. Okay, but whereas if you use SQL supports transactional processing, but Hive does not support any transactional processing. Since it is a interface which is acting as like a medium to communicate. So why we need this medium means like when you're communicating with a database of MapReduce or HDFS or Java based or some other things, and you need to be familiar with their databases. Instead of that, what it does is it gives you the interface to communicate with all kind of databases. It can be a MapReduce related, it can be Java related, it can be of anything. So this will be acting as like an interface medium in between you and the other things. Okay, that is what I told you. Like it is an SQL based interface which helps you to communicate with all the mediums. And second thing, make sure about it. IU does not support any transactional processing. When it does not support any transactional processing, then the term is that atomic asset property. So that is not there with I. Okay. So Hive only does schema on read, no schema on write. And the next one is collection data types. And here we have three things: structure, map, array. Map is same thing that what we have discussed related to pig, and structure, it is almost near to a C object structure, whereby you can have type struct and then followed by the name field. I mean name and then followed by the name. And when you look into all these three, I mean the second map is a collection of key value tuples. And I hope you know what is the meaning of tuple, which I have discussed earlier. Tuple is a set of collection of items as like a list, but tuple once it is created, you can't do it in a dynamic manner, which is a static. But if you take a array or a list, you can do it in a dynamic manner. Okay. And the last one is array. I mean same type that are indexable string zero based integers. And this is strict John comma divide name one name two. And if you take map, you can see key first will be the key, and then John will be the name, and then last will be the key. Do will be the name. But in case of struct and array, it is only holding the values. It is not holding any key. But when you look into map, it holds key and then value, key and then value. And that is a difference between struct, map, and array. So wherever it is map for a map with reduce, it can be of any data model like Pig or Hive or Cassandra, or it can be of anything. So wherever you talk about a map or map reduce things, it always comes with a key value, key value, key value. Okay. And next, Hive QL is a Hive query language data definition. So data definition, since Hive is something like SQL, we have a DDL, DML. So DDL stands for data definition language, and DML data manipulation language. At last, DCL data control language. So data definition language, DDL. So whatever the commands that you use to define your data, I mean define your database. So those commands you will be talking in DDL, data definition language. And second part, data manipulation language, we'll be talking about the commands or the queries that we use to update or to modify the database. That is data manipulation language. And third one, data control language, which is related to administration rights, okay, of your database. And now let us start with the HiveQL data definition. And here you can see Hive offers no support for row level insert, update, and delete. It provides you only to create a table and to access it. Okay, and Hive does not support any transactions like OLTP. No transactional processing is supported in Hive query language. Okay, so databases in Hive. And one thing make clear that Hive is not a database. Hive is not a database, or Hive is not a relational database. Hive is not a database. Hive is a data warehouse based software which can act as like a interface, like a SQL based interface. But if you ask me like if I was not a database, will it be holding the data? Yes, and in processing few data sets, it needs to hold the data, and Hive can hold the data. Hive can store small amount of data. but it is not a database. Okay. Okay. And now let's see databases in Hive. And here, database is just like a catalog or namespace of tables. And you can see the syntax of creating a database. Create a database, and this financials is the database name. Okay. Create, this is the keyword that we use to create a database. And next, you should use a keyword database, and next financials. Okay. So this is the database name. In case if the database exists with the name financials, then you will be getting an error that the database exists. If it exists, then you want to replace. Okay. So I will throw an error if financial already exists. So when you use this command, you should use create database if not exists financial. If it exists, we can't create it. Same thing again. Okay. So at any time, you can see the database what exists in the system. So if you go for show databases, it will show all the default databases. So by default, we have one database called financials. And the other thing, when you talk about big data model, it tells you that it does not require any proper schema. So pig does not hold any proper value, or pig does not hold any proper schema. Similarly, what else it can be done is similar like big data model. If you give a schema based on that, pig will work. If you don't provide it, it will uh, it will select the nearest. I mean, it will select the nearest. I mean, relative mapping technique or relative mapping technique will be followed. It will select the nearest relative technique or nearest relative schema which can be applied for your application. And similarly, if you don't assign a database when you use Hive, Hive will take a default database which is available in the mission, which will not ask for you to enter the database. And specifically, if you pass the database, then Hive will work accordingly by selecting that database for processing. Okay, that you need to note when you talk about Hive. So once if I create next, I have created one more database called human resources. I can see show databases, and default it was showing two databases like financials, human resources. And now next we shall talk about create tables. As of now, we have discussed about create a database, creating a database, and next we will be talking about creating tables. Okay. And again, the same when you start creating a table, even though check whether the table name exists or not. Create table. If it not exists, then mydb dot employees. Mydb will be the database dot employees. And first column name can be name, string comment, employee name, and salary. Subordinates for this is array. So this is where we use array, map, and struct. Okay. And comment a description of the table properties. And you can specify the location. This is where this current database table resides. So that's what as I do. Like this is again a data warehouse based software program. Okay. And here we have one more thing called managed table. uh, Whatever the table that we have created so far, or sometimes called managed table, or sometimes it is called internal table. The table which we have created in the last slide called mydb.employees. So whatever the table, I mean financials, whatever the table that we have created, like a financial and the other one customer responses. All this can be called as managed tables. So some case it is called internal tables. And the reason is that like Hive controls the here what Hive controls is like I will be helping you to interact and do things with our database. And when we drop a managed table, then the data Hive deletes the data in the table. When we drop a managed table, Hive deletes the data in the table. And here we have one more thing called partitioned managed table or partitioned data. Partitioned managed table. And the meaning of partitioning is like dividing, right? The meaning of partitioning is dividing or dividing into blocks and allocating. And here, what partitioned managed table does is like it also does the same thing like dividing, but what it has done more than this. So it is used for to manage. I mean to load horizontally. I mean moving data physically close to the most frequent users. Okay, so that it does is partition managed table. Okay, and it can take the control. It can take control, but mostly it is used to it is used for mostly it is used for driving a load horizontally to make the load balance horizontally and moving data physically close to most frequent users and other purposes. And we have discussed the two terms, what is called horizontal and what is called vertical partitioning in the databases. Okay, and and the connected term to this is external table. See, I need to use some other table. I need to use some other table for some purposes, but I don't want to be a owner of that particular table, but I want to use it. That is where external table works. We will be executing some queries on that database, but you will not be getting authorization like ownership of that data. It is again like a foreign key relation. It is again like a foreign key meaning. Okay, so whereby you will be having accessing to that database, but you will not be having the complete control of it, right? But you will not be having the complete control of it. That is called external table, and that is where this external table works. Okay, so where you can define an external table that points to the data but does not take ownership of it. And to indicate it, we can use Hive uses the external keyword and which tells you the location where it is located. Okay, so I'm repeating it. That is again as like a foreign key relation in a relational database management system, whereby you will be trying to query from the other table, but that need not to be your table. That need not to be a primary key of your table. You not have control of it. That is external table. Okay, I hope it is clear. And here, what does it means is like if I try to use some kind of big database model with my system, and even Hive helps you to interact with that particular system, I'm going to retrieve something from my big table, but I don't want that to be in my database. In that case, external tables works. Where externally it will talk to that database and it will get the response, but that will not be there in your machine. This is external tables. Okay. And this is the meaning of external tables. And next, drop table. Okay. So drop table, and this drop table is a familiar. This we use a familiar command. We use a familiar command which is familiar to SQL. Drop table if exist employees. So this will drop that particular table and which make the data to be deleted from that table. And that's why whenever when you talk about I always you can see the term SQL. And also it means it is an SQL based interface or it is an SQL based interface model. Renaming a table. So thus, Hive can support you in altering a table, renaming a table, but does not support in altering the schema, writing the schema, right? Writing the schema. So to rename it, we use a keyword called alter table, and then file name that should be renamed to logmsgs. So it is an example for renaming a table, changing columns. You can alter a table, you can change its position, you can change its type, you can change its comment. See, let's see, alter table log messages. We are going to alter the table log messages, and what does that we are altering is we are using the keyword change column HMS column, I mean hours, minutes, seconds, which is we will be representing it as integer. That's what I told you. Even the timestamp is a unique identifier which tells you the start time of that particular initial start time of that particular field. And this timestamp will be a integer value. Timestamp values are being specified in an integer value. Okay. So this is hours and minutes, seconds are part of the timestamp after severity. After severity is a column whereby you want this particular column like this timestamp value to be get moved to the column which is named severity. You want the column to be get named after this. That is the meaning of it. Okay. Here, this is the name of a column. Severity is name of the column. So whereby we are trying to change the column, we are trying to change the position of a column. You can rename a column. You can change the position of a column. You can change the type of a column, and also you can change the comments. Okay. So this is about changing columns. And the next part, we will be talking about Hive manipulation queries. Okay. So first, we are right now we have discussed about Hive data definition. So like we have DML, DCL, DDL, and right as of now we are talking about DDL, like data definition. Next, we shall talk about data manipulation. That is next part will be Hive manipulation queries. Thank you.